Hello again, basketball fans. Welcome to another edition of High School Hoops Weekly. I am Aaron Schoonmaker, joined alongside, as always, with Powell Latimer, your resident high school guru. As you can see in the background, we are at Laney High School, and we're here to talk about some girls' Bucs. We're going to have an interview real quick. Powell caught up with Coach Sherri Tynes. We'll get that in just 1 second. But first, let's get started with some of last week's storylines. Let's start in the Mid-Eastern, and let's start on the boys' side of things.
Exactly. We're halfway through the Mid-Eastern season, and as Still One White told me the other night out of Hoggard, it's really weird to have must-win games midway through this season. That's what it's been like so far. This race is incredibly tight. Just last week, you had Hoggard Tuesday downing New Hanover, their first conference loss, and then Laney down New Hanover, actually beat Hoggard. So everyone's beating up on everyone. It's almost impossible to tell how this is going to shake out. Right now, we're looking at, you've got the Ashley boys are the big surprise so far. 4-1 in the conference so far. Big wins over Hoggard and another big win against Laney here on Tuesday. Those are two big wins for Ashley. No one really saw that coming out of that boys team. I do not envy these teams that have to play each other all the time.
Yeah, it's kind of like the case of the Big East and the NCAA. You just beat up on everyone because everyone is at that same caliber. But that's a familiar storyline. We've talked quite a bit about the Mid-Eastern. Let's move over to the Waccamaw, the Tri-County, some of the other boys' conferences.
Absolutely. Out in the surrounding counties, you've got Whiteville is on top of the Waccamaw Conference right now. They've got a really impressive little team out there. The Waccamaw, West Bladen's having a really good year. Also kind of outside of Whiteville, everything kind of jumbled up. You've got South Brunswick in there. North Brunswick's 2-4. So these teams are, everyone's kind of still shaking themselves out there. A little bit more dominance on that side from West Bladen and Whiteville on that end of things. On the Tri-County end, really it's come down to Pender and James Keenan. Those two teams very good. Pender is 8-0 in the conference right now. James Keenan 6-1. And everybody else is kind of all in a mix together there. This really between Pender and James Keenan. If anyone slips up, James Keenan will be right there to jump on Pender, but for the most part, the Patriots are pretty much in control of that conference on the boys' side of things.
Absolutely. Well, we're here at Laney, of course, to talk with the Lady Bucs, the girls' team, and their success. Before we get into that in the interview with Sherri, let's get into some of the other girls' storylines from other conferences.
Absolutely. I mean, of course, in the Waccamaw Conference, we got to sound like broken records at this point, but East Bladen is continuing to be just that good. They're 17-1 overall, undefeated in the conference. They've beaten the next two closest teams in the Waccamaw Conference by 30 and 40 points. It's North Brunswick and South Columbus earlier last week. East Bladen, they're absolutely dominant in that conference. But there's still some very good teams between North Brunswick and South Columbus. Very good teams that are milling around there, can do some damage come the postseason. So there's some interesting things to watch out there. In the Tri-County race, again, the Patriots are kind of dominant. Pender's 7-1 in that conference. Really good team out there. They've got a lot of different options. And getting Francesca Bland, their star forward back, was big. She had a broken wrist for a large part of the preseason. They look really, really good. Kind
of what we expected. They're coming into the season. The injuries, now that they're healed, look for them to do some big things. Well, now let's get into your interview. I know you caught up with Coach Sherri Tynes. Let's hear what she had to say. Your team is 4-1 in the conference now. Really had a hot stretch of late. What's been the turnaround? Because you guys had some struggles around Christmas. What's helped turn the season around for you guys here?
Well, just a lot of patience, a lot of repetition, a lot of just continuing to work on the little things that we need to get better at, and trying to put all the small pieces together, keeping the kids motivated. To look towards the future, not what was behind us there before Christmas.
One of the things the other coaches have said about your team is you look like you guys have so much more confidence now.
Right.
Do you see that, and where is that coming from?
Well, absolutely. Well, it goes back to just continuing to tell these kids that they can do it. I see it. I see the pieces. We've seen it all along, but it was just a matter of them learning the offense, learning the defense, changing the mentality over from middle school basketball or JV basketball to varsity, where it's a little bit faster paced. And they just really needed to get used to that.
We're here with Laney senior guard Shaylin Johnson. Shaylin, you guys have had a rough go at the start of the season. Really hit your stride now. What's been the difference for you the last few games here?
Well, we've actually come together and played as a team. We've stepped up in practice and showed that we can actually do what our coaches ask for, and it actually shows in the games.
And a big game against Hoggard coming up on this Friday. You guys lost them earlier in the season. How badly do you guys want to get back in the gym and take on the Vikings again?
Really bad, really. We really want to win.
How badly do you guys want to get back at these guys, especially now with both of you guys at the top of the conference?
You know what? We just want to play well. It doesn't matter who we're playing. We know every game from here on out is important. And, you know, they beat us early on, so sure we'd like to go in there and play a little bit better and give ourselves a chance to maybe come out on the, you know, at this time. But you know, it's always big when you play an in-town rival. It doesn't matter who it is, and it doesn't really matter what your record is. Anything can happen. So we're just hoping to, you know, stick to what we've been doing. You know, trying to be fundamentally sound, making the easy pass, doing the easy things, and not trying to overdo anything.
Hey, you know, thanks, Powell. You know, it's hard to say they're overachieving because they expected to be this good, but in a lot of people's minds, they're playing a lot better than what they were expected to do.
Absolutely. Early in the season, they really struggled, but you know, Lady Bucs really pulling off some good wins lately, and they've really found their stride.
All right, well, let's close this out a little bit differently. Normally we try to get to your 3 points earlier in the show. We're going to let you close out the show today with your 3 points.
As usual with a lot of buzzer beaters and three-pointers, you're going to let me take a shot. I like it. First point is a few teams that we expected to be better are sliding a little bit. You got Laney at 3-2, their boys team 3-2 in the conference now after a 13-0 start of the season. You've got Ashley girls, conference champs last year, went pretty far in the state tournament. They're now 1-4 in the conference. Coach Gale said they really need to get back in the gym and figure out what's going on there. That's point one, sliding teams that really need to figure themselves out. Some topsy-turvy situations in the conference races due to that. Second point is Cape Fear Academy showing a little bit of having a really nice stretch here. They're 11-9 on the season. Just had a huge win against Harrell's Christian, 49-27 out there. So you know, watch out for Cape Fear Academy. As we've mentioned before, they've got a nice little team out there. And also, just to close it out, guys, road wins have become so important in this conference. It's so tough to win in any of these gyms. So anyone that gets a road win has got a huge leg up on the competition. For example, the Ashley boys winning here at Laney on Tuesday night. Huge game for them. You have to defend your home court, win on the road. Good things will happen for you. So that's what the key is for a lot of these coaches heading into the home stretch of the season. So look for that.
Well, thanks for the 3 points. I think you got nothing but net there at the buzzer. So we're going to leave you with that, and we're going to come back to you next week where we have more storylines from the high school basketball season. Thanks for watching, guys.